Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Newsroom. I'm your host, Khalid. But today is the 31st of July, 2024. The month is coming to an end, but lots to discuss with you. So without further ado, this is what is going to be on the menu today. We'll begin, ladies and gentlemen, with the situation in Palestine. Two very important events that have happened. One is the killing of Ismail Haniyeh, who was, of course, the leader of the faction of Hamas, the Palestinian faction that was of course, against what had been happening in Israel, and this is a group that Israel had been after since day one of the conflict between the two countries. He has been assassinated in Iran, in Tehran. And we will, of course, be highlighting different details, but what is very, I wouldn't say strange, but leads to a lot of cautionary statements is the fact that there has also been an attack in Beirut that has killed scores of people, and Israel says Israel has claimed that it was behind it, but it says that it was targeting a certain entity. But the fact is that Lebanon has also officially taken this up with the Israeli government. This said, the Qatar's representative says we don't know what is going to happen with the ceasefire because of this very situation that has emanated as it has. This and more is going to be discussed in our first story, and that concerns the situation in Gaza. This is day 299 of the war between Israel and Palestine that has begun. But what is extremely important is the events that have led to this very day. The political chief of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, has been killed in a treacherous Zionist raid on his residence in Tehran, says a statement. Iran's president has vowed to make Israel regret the cowardly action, as Supreme Leader Khamenei also says avenging Haniyeh's killing is Tehran's duty. A lot of other countries have also reacted to it. And the US, it seems, is trying to disseminate the situation, kind of weather down the whole tensions that have embroiled, because what is very evident is an escalation of the war. We've been joined by Khalid Taimur Akram. He's an international affairs expert right here in the studios, joins us after a long hiatus. Khalid Saab, thank you very much to have joined us. Khalid Saab, Hamas says its political chief Ismail Haniyeh has been killed in what it says a treacherous Zionist raid on his residence in Iran. What is being said in media is that he was killed by an airborne guided projectile that hit the residence where he was staying in the north of the capital, Tehran, which took place at around 2 a.m. Local time at a special residence for military veterans. A funeral is going to be held on Thursday in Tehran. Then, of course, the body is going to be taken to Qatar, where he will be buried. Iran is observing 3 days of public mourning, so are some other countries as well. Do you feel, what led to, I mean, I'd like to understand what led to Israel making such, I mean, I don't know the adjective that I should put, such a move, let's put it that way. Isn't it moving towards regional escalation, this whole situation? Add to it what happened in Beirut.
Yes, first of all, we need to see that who was Ismail Haniyeh, what is his background. He was born in 1963, and his association with Hamas started at a very early age, and then in 2006 he won a majority in the elections, and he was prime minister for almost 1.5 years. And in 2007, then the President Mahmoud Abbas, he dismissed his government. And he was seen as a symbol of resistance. He was seen as a person around whom most of the Palestinians gathered, whether people in Gaza, whether the Palestinian diaspora, they were all for him because of his pragmatic approach and his, I would say he was a rigid also, and he was to some extent flexible also when it comes to the negotiations. And he was one of the key men during last 200 days, 200 plus days, as you said, in the Gaza resistance also. So his killing will definitely make lots of ripples among Hamas. He was on the hit list of Israel, and I think Israelis thought that with his killing, the resistance will slow down. But I think that with his killing, with his martyrdom, he will now become a symbol of resistance. And this resistance is going to be now spread over in the complete region. If we see the record of the Israeli intelligence agency since last 2 years, we have seen that Israel has been making very precise attacks on the Iranian targets. We have seen them hitting the Iranian National Guard commanders. We have seen them hitting targets in Syria, in Lebanon. Now, this is a direct attack on the Iranian territory.
Exactly.
And it has happened on a very significant day that most of the world leaders were gathered there to celebrate the new president. So I think the timing which Israel has chosen is going to make more Iran, they are going to make more furious. They are going to be very, very furious on this, because this once this attack had happened, most of the world leaders, most of the even our deputy foreign minister was yesterday there in Iran, in Tehran. So one, the timing, two, targeting inside Iran, and three, killing of a very important Hamas leader.
Was also part of the ceasefire talk.
Yes. So these three things very clearly indicate that now this escalation is going to have, will be more in times to come, and those times are not far away. You will see within next maybe 2 or 3 or 4 days, Iran is definitely going to retaliate, because the Iranian government has to show their face in front of their own people. The new president is just he has taken oath, and right on the very first day, he is facing a direct attack inside Iranian territory. Previously, Israel had been targeting Iranian targets, but outside Iran, in Lebanon, in Syria, and in other places. But this attack is a direct attack on the Iranian sovereignty. This has happened on a day, on a very significant day. So I personally think that Iran is going to retaliate, and Iran is going to this time retaliate in a much more offensive style than they had been doing it before. Maybe they can have a direct retaliatory attack inside Israel. So, but this shows the clear intention of Israel that they are not interested in the talks.
And they want to escalate.
And they want to escalate, and they don't want to have that stoppage. Most of the Western media, we have seen that although Israel was accepting the mediation of US and to some extent the mediation of the UN Security Council, but this kind of escalating attack means that Israel is not interested in having peace. And another thing is this, that Ismail Haniyeh was also being seen as a moderate leader, because during the negotiations we had seen that he showed his willingness for peace. Maybe now the person coming in, we do not know that who's going to succeed him, because it's up to Hamas who will nominate it. Maybe the next man is more rigid. Maybe the next man would not take the talks to that level which they have. So it's going to have ripple effects not only in Palestine, it's going to have ripple effects in Lebanon, it's going to have ripple effects in Syria also, because the Palestinian diaspora in these countries were...
Hezbollah, Houthis,
yes,
I mean, these two factions that have said that they will continue to escalate tensions in the region until and unless the war in Palestine ends. And the way this is going, I don't see this war ending.
No, I also don't think that this is going to end. I personally feel that this action of Israel is a clear indication that they are not interested in any kind of ceasefire. We have seen condemnation coming from Russia, from China, from Pakistan. Of course, Pakistan is one country. We do not recognize Israel. We have been always supporting Palestinians. We have been always supporting the cause. Our Prime Minister, every other day, he is in National Assembly, wherever he goes, he talks for the Palestinian people, and we are standing with our brothers and sisters of Palestine. But the point is this, that the countries who can make any effect, that is US and the European Union countries, what is their reaction? They are giving very cautious type of reaction, because in America this is an election year. So the Americans are keeping themselves on one side, because they don't
how
want
can
to...
they keep themselves? I fail to understand how can they keep themselves on one side when they are directly or indirectly involved in everything that is happening.
They are involved,
Palestine.
but see, at present there is also a political crisis inside US. We have seen that how Joe Biden was forced to step down from the presidential race. So with his stepping down, but he still have more than 6 months to go in the office. But these last, I think, 6-7 months, he is going to be a non-effective US president.
But these 6 months are going to be extremely important for US and the future of US politics as well. We would like to understand where on the one hand Pakistan, Turkey and Russia have taken out statements, and Turkey has taken out very strong statements, so has Russia, so has Pakistan. The Turkish Foreign Ministry says the assassination aims to spread the war in Gaza to a regional level. I mean, this is what we had been discussing. But at the same time, Lin Jian, who's a spokesperson for China's Foreign Ministry, on the one hand, while condemning the death, and said that Beijing is deeply concerned as this incident, again, just like the Turkish Foreign Ministry said, may lead to further instability in the regional situation, and talks about a permanent and comprehensive ceasefire. How important, if you remember well, China was the one who was behind the whole declaration, Beijing declaration, between all the 14 factions just a couple of days back in Beijing. How important could China's role be now under this current situation, when there is a huge chance that there could be a big escalation of this current situation?
About escalation, escalation is going to happen, because this cannot be stopped right now, because as I said, that this attack is not attack on Hamas, it is basically a direct attack inside Iran and on the sovereignty of Iran. So Iran is going to definitely retaliate. With this attack, Israel has basically spread its wings for a regional escalation. Yes, China has been playing a very important role. We have seen previously China has played a role between Iran and Saudi Arabia. China is the stabilizing factor right now in complete world. China has been talking with Hamas factions, because China wanted that all the Palestinian factions should get together on one platform, and then they should have negotiations with the Israelis and with in Qatar, with the US and with the Security Council, so that whatever solution they come up to will be the and should be the consensus solution of voice of all the Palestinian people. So this killing would definitely derail that, derail the process which China has already started. But I think if all the leaders of the Palestinian all factions, if they have to behave very responsible, and in this time they should not come into the bait which Israelis have again given them to disintegrate and to have their own voices, because
herein is the need for a joint front.
Yes, for the joint front, and I think they will give out a joint statement. One thing is this, that Hamas has announced that he will be buried in Qatar. His burial in Qatar is very symbolic. If we look at where he was born in a refugee camp in Gaza in 1963, and his burial in Qatar will be a symbolic burial, so that it would give out a message that all the Muslim countries and all the Muslim Ummah is behind the Palestinian people, because otherwise they could have buried him in Gaza or within the Iran. So Qatar accepting his burial means that it is a sort of a message to Israel also, that all the Muslim Ummah is standing behind all factions of Hamas and all the Palestinian people. Now coming over to the role of China. China's role is very crucial. China will keep on playing that role, because China thinks that war is not the answer, escalation is not the answer. As I told you before, that US is playing a very dominant role, because their elections are coming up, and as we know that in US all the big business houses are and the Jews are the main donors in the US election on the both sides. So if you will see whether it's Trump or Kamala Harris, whosoever would come on the stage, they are not going to condemn any of the Israel's actions, because they need funding for their thing. So this wide of US playing any kind of positive role. I think it is filled by China and China's allies, including Pakistan, Turkey, Russia, and China is on the forefront. But this action will definitely derail the ongoing negotiations for some time, and if in this time Israel escalates more attacks and the ceasefire is not been acted upon, so I think next few months are going to be very, very terrible, because US right now is not any position to play any kind of significant role, and they will not play because they are more now concentrated on their domestic politics and on their elections.
All right. Like a short answer, Khalid Sahab, we are a bit short of time. Just 24 hours before, 3 people, including 2 children, have been killed and 74 wounded in an Israeli strike in Beirut. The Israeli military describes the attack targeted assassination operation against Hezbollah commander Fuad Shukr. But Hezbollah, this of course comes as a reaction of what happened, in which 12 children were killed. But the fact is that Hezbollah has denied responsibility for the attack that Israel claims it is behind. Israel said the group has crossed a red line, would pay a heavy price for the incident. I consider this very strange, because hasn't Israel crossed all the lines, all the red lines possible? Shouldn't Israel be paying a heavy price for what it has caused since the 7th of October, last year? And what happens now? We've had Beirut, 24 hours later, we have Ismail Haniyeh's assassination. Was this a deliberate attempt by Israel to couple these two together?
Yes, it's a deliberate attempt. It's a deliberate attempt, one, to derail all the process started by China. Second, it's a deliberate attempt to derail the negotiations happening. It's a deliberate attempt to start escalation in all parts of, in all the regional countries. And I view that this, you will see another 48 or 72 hours, you are going to see more such attacks, because more such attacks means retaliation from Iran, retaliation from Hamas, retaliation from Hezbollah, giving Israel another chance to tell the world that look what they are doing, and we are going to continue with this.
And something that they themselves instigated.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Khalid Taimur Akram Saab, to have joined us after a long hiatus. I hope we'll continue to have your presence in future shows as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to an end of today's newsroom. We'll see you inshallah tomorrow with news stories and segments that pertain to us here in Pakistan. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.